The A car segment is very competitive, so to help us make the right decision, Volkswagen invited us to Italy to drive the Up around Lake Como. Volkswagen Up is in production since late 2011. VW claims it sold some 660,000 units since then, and that Up is the most popular A-segment car in Europe. Now, this is a bit of an exaggeration. According to my calculations, this figure includes total sales for Up, Citigo and Mii, but Up on its own was usually in the top 3 behind Fiat's 500 and Panda. And if you ask me to choose between a Panda and an Up, I will take VW any day. Italy or not, when I attended the Polish launch event for the Up back in 2012, I didn't expect it to be particularly interesting. Just another shopping trolley. What could Volkswagen do to top the lukewarm Toyota Aygo, Citroen C1 and Peugeot 107? As it turned out, the Up may be small outside, but it is very roomy inside with a big boot, interesting options for personalising, relatively smooth engine. Okay, so what did really change in the facelifted Volkswagen Up? Well, I'll start with the biggest change, or perhaps the most important, significant change, and that's the engine under the bonnet. It's a 1-liter, 3-cylinder, yes, I know, so far it sounds familiar, but it's a turbo engine, it's a TSI engine, 90 horsepower and 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of just below 10 seconds. Volkswagen points out that this is almost as fast as first generation Golf GTI, which pretty much means that the first generation Volkswagen Golf GTI, or Rabbit as you like to call it in the States, wasn't particularly fast. Good thing about the turbo engine is that you have a lot more punch, lower in the rev range. As you can probably see right now, I'm driving up some rather narrow, very twisty and rather steep roads, and with the turbo engine I could just as well travel in third gear now, easily. I've got below 2000 RPM, but if I step on the accelerator, the car just goes, it picks up easily. So that's pretty cool. The gearbox, I don't think it changed much, or I don't think it changed at all. It's sleek enough for a city car which you can actually take on longer journeys as well. I remember the 75 horsepower MPI engine did pretty well on the motorway. Of course, on the motorway you had to work it hard to get it up to speed, but once it reached the cruising speed of 120, 140 kilometers per hour, it was pretty good, pretty stable. With this car you can travel a lot more in fifth gear, and you don't have to downshift to accelerate. Look, I'm in third gear on this hairpin, and the Eco Nanny, okay, now the Eco Nanny told me to switch into second because I was going a bit too slow, but otherwise it's a quite punchy engine, especially in a small car like this. By the way, the same engine will, or actually already does, power the Skoda Octavia. That's the Octavia 1.0, 115, 120 horsepower. So it is tunable, and if Volkswagen decides to make a hotter version of the Up, I'm sure this engine will come into play. Another significant change, something that's worth mentioning, is the new infotainment system. Now, this is a kind of big new radio connected to a smartphone. So Volkswagen wants you to use your smartphone with this. There is an app which is integrated with the radio, and once you connect the two, it's your sat-nav, it's your trip computer, it's your eco-driving trainer and all that. So the menu here and the menu here are integrated, and that's really, really cool. This unit will probably soon feature in the Skoda Citigo and Seat Mii once they receive their facelift. I really like this. This cradle accommodates up to 5.5-inch smartphones, so that should cover most of the market, perhaps except some of the bigger Samsung phones. The phone is plugged in, and an interesting thing, there are two air vents on the sides here, but there is also one here in the back, which is for the passengers in the back, and this air vent here also cools the smartphone, which obviously will heat up once the app is going. Speaking of the app, you can download maps for the country that you're in, so you can use maps offline. You don't have to worry about data plan, for example, like it is with Google Maps. Of course, you can download some stuff from Google Maps, but this probably will be a safer bet as it is integrated with the car. This particular example is in cooperation with Beats Audio, so it's got 7-speaker system, and you can hear the bass pumping. I'm not gonna demonstrate it now because the sat-nav is in German and I have no idea how to stop the lady from talking, but trust me, this thing can play. Other less significant changes include 13 colors for the body, 3 colors for the roof, and some trim packages as well. You have slightly revised the fascia and the rear bumper. I think the wing mirrors are also new, and you can have them in different colors. Volkswagen app remains a pretty good car for people who want to travel around the city, who want to have a stylish car, but at the same time a very practical car. This thing has got a 250-liter boot with a double floor, so you can arrange your cargo space. The storage is good. There is a pretty good glove box for a small car like this. There are 2 cup holders here, unfortunately not side by side. There is good size door bins. The seats are very comfortable. The brakes are decent. There's even ambient lighting here. Gosh, there is a multi-function steering wheel, all that sort of stuff on a car, prices of which start below 10,000 euro.
Volkswagen Up was never very cheap, and this is also the case after the facelift. Prices start at 9,850 euro for the base take-up 3-door model, but this 5-door Up Beats variant with a 1.0 TSI engine and some options costs between 16 and 17 grand. You could have a hybrid Toyota Yaris or a basic Auris for this kind of money, but then the Up is more of a lifestyle car than its soon-to-follow siblings from Skoda and Seat.
And what do you guys think about the facelifted Volkswagen Up? Let me know in the comments below this video. New episodes every Friday. Share, rate and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Also, if you like what I'm doing, please help me by donating to my Patreon or PayPal. You'll find the links in the description below. Until then, I'll just go and drive the Up around Lake Como, right? It's nice here.